I've been putting this one off for quite a while, completing an incursion alone without taking damage. When that first dropped, I actually turned around and said, what the hell is an incursion? In a video, and not a lot of people picked up on that. Turns out, it's exactly what I thought it was. So we're going to throw that in here, complete an incursion without dying, alone. So this is going to have to sadly be set to invite only, jump to navigation, and an incursion takes place here on the plains. It's dusk. I might be able to sneak one in. It's a very slim chance because incursions happen during the day, and it's basically the random events that happen on Earth. So I need to find an incursion and take it on alone. The reason I have kind of ditched the moon catcher, or the Catchmoon, is I'm kind of hoping that this will force it to give me a Riven for that gun. I have two of these. I should be able to kind of do. It's not that the enemies are going to be hard or anything else, it's just finding an incursion is quite painful sometimes, because they're just, it's not spawning one. So let's go Arcwing and fly around until we find one that I am looking for. I'm looking for a specific one, and it's got to be the find the caches, because that one I can do while invisible. The rest of them, though doable, will be a complete pain. I don't think one of these is going to spawn because of the time of day though. I think it has to be just in the daytime, not even spawning at dusk, which poses me another problem because I'll probably forget about this for a day or two before I actually get round to giving this another go. I've had this Riven for quite a long time and it's not spawning anything around us. I think I'm right on this one. It's not going to spawn because of the time of day. Has to be daytime. Dusk doesn't spawn them. Nighttime doesn't spawn them. Oh, that's a pain. And I did eventually end up doing one. It was a track the drone. I was recording, but I didn't have the microphone on because, I don't know, I was talking through it, but turns out the microphone wasn't on, so yeah. Did that. Actually, fairly effectively. I was going for the capture the cache things, because you don't have to deal with enemies. I just thought, well, if I'm going to go Loki and I'm in here, I may as well go invisible, and it worked pretty wonderfully until I left, and it didn't give me it. Give me it for the gears, which I just am not really going to use, but did go back in, use the other Riven that I had with all fingers crossed, hoping that this would happen, and well, lo and behold, all surprises aside, the one with the arrows actually dropped a Catchmoon Riven. Now I get to go play the fun and games game, which is of course cycling through this until I eventually get something that is slightly better than slash and plunge through, status duration, damage to corpus. Nah, I'd rather stick with the original one. It's nothing more than it's the original one. It has a nice amount of slash, it has really nice ammo. The recoil is kind of a pain, but we're just going to keep cycling this until we get something really good. Minus crit. Ooh, I think I have this built for crit. Though the impact and such is good, actually the reload speed would be really useful, but it doesn't take that long to reload anyway, so moving on. I have no idea what the stats are for the Catchmoon, or what would consist of a good Riven for this, actually. Speaking of good Rivens, projectile speed could be pretty good. I think, before I go any further with this, would better actually, okay, see, I knew it, I'd built mine towards crit, not towards status, and it's impact and heat, so the slash would have been useless anyway, so we want crit and elemental, if at all possible. And I did just spend a small fortune on these, so, it has the reload speed in there again. But this does have crit damage, but this does have damage. I'm going to have to go for damage every time. I wouldn't know what a really good roll on a Riven would be for this setup that I have. Not that. I am not dealing with a Riven that has damage to Corpus or damage to Infected. If I wanted to run that stuff, I would run it. Okay, that would have been great if it didn't have the damage to Grenier on it. That has ruined it, actually. That has really ruined it. What the hell? Guess we're going to continue on. Usually, I would stop rolling these about 10. I think I'm going to stop rolling this one about now, because I want to know if this, remembering it goes up to 200 and something % damage and adds punch through, is going to be better than this. The only way I can do that is by taking Jolt out so there's enough points to actually do this, and just kind of swapping them round. Yeah, pretty much says it all. It's way more damage. That's got a bit of punch through on it. Not that it matters, this thing has punch through anyway, but it's adding base damage, so this is a really nice starting point for this. Hopefully the punch through will stop it bouncing off things as well, so that could be actually good for this. But if I could get this to fit in here as well, do I really need all that status damage when I'm supposed to be, thing is supposed to be crit based? Back to formaring this I go, because, well, that's definitely getting polarized into a slot. Yeah. That actually did take it up quite a lot more. Even the elemental side of it, which now is all messed up, so the build on this is completely junk. And it wasn't really over there. 32 rolls later, this thing, I still didn't get a really good roll on it, so all it's really doing is adding damage and a bit of punch through. And I know a lot of people will be saying the punch through on the Catchmoon that bounces off things, not really that good, but it does actually help this weapon quite a bit, because instead of it hitting an enemy and that's it, you've got to fire another round, it does go through them, and you see that happening quite a lot. But considering they changed Magnum Force to have 165% extra damage, losing 55% accuracy, this was just a little bit less, well, a little bit better than a mod that, well, Magnum Force, yes, it may be a bit of a pain to get a hold of sometimes, it doesn't really drop that often, it's a 14-point mod, making it more expensive to level that than it did a Riven, but the Riven was just a little bit better and doesn't really have the downside of the loss of accuracy, so I'm still kind of running this, but still hoping that one day this Riven will get much better, because like a lot of people, the Catchmoon did end up becoming my main secondary. We'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.